All right, time to burn some nitro, Reinhardt.
Tractor's getting ready to get out of the way, and Jim Maroney's team ready to fire up the American Flowtech car. Now, this is a team based down in Phoenix that have been running a race or two for the last few years, trying to expand their program a little bit. When I talked to Jim earlier in the weekend, he said that they had picked up a lot of equipment from Bill Miller, including his entire inventory of clutch parts, pieces, stuff, tools, and they're kind of working their way through. The Maroney team is one that occasionally might set out a qualifying session if they know they're locked in the field and don't need to make the run, but they've got a lot of new stuff that they're trying to get a handle on, so they're going to come out here and take every opportunity to learn what they can learn. And it'll be an opportunity for us to listen to one car going down a racetrack all by itself, which is an anomaly in four-wide racing.
And for Bill Miller, as a part-time team from this part of the country, he was always competitive. He and Troy Buff would come out and lay down a run or two that would put him right in the middle of the mix. So Mr. Maroney has got some good parts. Let's see if he can make them work.
Definitely got some fuel going through that thing on a burnout, no doubt about it, as they warm up the big old Goodyear. As they bring it, for you casual fans, give us a little taste of what you're seeing out there. One of the reasons that they push the cars into the water box, looks like you're trying to get it idled down and get it into reverse, and they got it clunked in there yet, is they're trying to keep the heat out of the clutch. These clutches operate with centered iron discs and steel floaters. And if you get the clutch too hot during the burnout or staging procedure, it's going to just basically weld itself up on the starting line. So you want to try to keep the heat out of the clutch. At the end of the burnout, the driver will put the car in reverse, let the pedal out, get it moving, and then shove the pedal back in. You're not actually working the clutch the whole way back. You just get it moving, push the pedal back in. And then it comes out of reverse and back into forward. We saw a problem with Jim Campbell yesterday where the car went into neutral. Theoretically, there should be no neutral. The reverser's either engaged or not. If you over-center that, put the car in neutral, there is no way to put it back in gear with the engine running. Simply not possible. The reverser becomes engaged and then disengaged. Meanwhile, at an idle, it's burning a gallon of fuel about every 12 seconds down there. And that's why timing is crucial to get the car backed up and staged up, because the fuel tank sits way up there by the front wheels, and that's the ballast on the front of the car. Maroney gently bumps it in, 7 inches further forward. Now we're good to go. There you go. Pop right at the finish line. 396, 308 miles an hour. But look at them down on the starting line. High fives all around down there. They have come out here and gone a little further and a little further and a little further. It looked like it knocked the panels out of it at the finish line. Didn't look like a kablooey. Just looked like a kerpop down there. But the safety safari is rolling, and they're going to check it out.
Jim Maroney jumps up to the number 12 spot, or improves his state, 308 miles per hour. And great to see that team happy, Alan. They've been working very hard. Everybody out here is working hard, but Jim with a huge investment. Directionally correct. Getting quicker and faster. Solo shot. Got to go A to B before you can get there quick.
You could hear it kind of tug the motor out there when the clutch came in. A hot cylinder down there, and yeah, it looked like it popped the blower off of it, but hopefully that is not a big catastrophe. Fun fact, you know, when you bolt together one of these nitro-burning Hemis, probably figure you use, you know, the biggest, strongest, more powerful bolts you can find in the world to hold this thing together, right? The bolts that hold the manifold together and the bolts that hold the blower on are aluminum, and they're undercut. In the event of a backfire or a pop, as we're taking another look up there in slow motion, you want those bolts to break and release the concussion. If the blower releases from the manifold, stands up, it'll release the energy. Hopefully, in a small pop, all you end up with is a bunch of broken studs instead of having major engine damage. And that certainly didn't look like a big kablooey down there, but they are checking things over down on the racetrack.